Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Pretty Lonesome. We are so fucking back right now. Guys, okay, listen, if you joined in the last couple of years, you may not be acquainted with the gravity of our current surroundings. If you're not, let me just fill you in for 1 second. This is my Vauxhall Astra, the love of my life, the car from which I started my basically entire digital footprint. I got this car when I was 21 because I crashed my other car and I was at fault through no fault of my own. And I was in a bit of a pinch financially, and so I ended up buying this car off Gumtree from a man who was grieving his recent loss of his mother, who I truly believe blessed this car in some way. May God rest her soul, or may her soul rest upon whichever belief system she valued most. This car I bought for £600 in a rough point in my life, and there is no reason for this car to have such vibrant energy. I sit here and I feel creative and I feel happy, and I was at, like I said, a low point in my life, okay? A lot of the stories I tell on this podcast of less happy times in my life was the era in which I bought this car. I was in my final year of uni. I was stressed the fuck out. I was anxious. I was miserable. And I got this car and I felt so nice to be in here. It felt so light and happy and easy that I ended up spending all my time in here. And at the time, people thought that I even lived in it. And it wasn't far from the truth. I did have a home. I did pay rent for a room. But there were days and nights that I would sleep in this car because it just felt more like home to me at the time. It felt like my space when I didn't really have space that was truly mine outside. Anyway, it's not the point. The point is, this car, I feel, gave birth to a lot. And you want to know something insane that happened? I found out yesterday. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, picture this. A delivery driver for a brand I won't name, driving down my street, hits the back of my car, and for the next part, I cannot blame him, looked at the damage he caused to this car and thought, fuck it, they're not even going to notice. Didn't want to get penalized for it, completely understand, and drove off. However, my neighbor caught it on her Ring camera and sent it to my mum and was like, hey, they just broke your rear brake light. And my mum was like, hell no. And she emailed the company and she was like, hey, your driver fucked my car up and then drove off and the brake light doesn't work anymore. So they were like, oh, we're so sorry. Send the make and model and send the part that's broken and we'll figure something out. My mum sends the car and the part that needs replacing, which, by the way, £40. It was going to cost £40. The brake light, she literally just needs a bulb in the plastic. It was going to be £40 off fucking eBay. So she sends it to them. Because if there is one thing my mother loves in this world, it's an administrative task. So this was right up her street. I would have just bought the brake light, but not my mother. So she emails the company. They email back, hey babe, this car is not worth the money it's going to cost us to repair it. Because they were going to have, I don't know, it's something with their policy. They were going to have send someone and pick the car up and do the whole, I don't know. Something wasn't worth it to them, even though the part was cheap. And they say the market value of this car is $1,100, which means I got a fucking bargain. By the way, I was not aware it was that much. They're like, the market value is $1,100. Let us scrap this car for you. And my mum was like, excuse you, that is someone's baby. Okay, that is someone's sister, mother, baby. You may not scrap her. And they were like, okay, well, it's gonna cost us more. For whatever reason, it's hassle for them to fix it. And so I don't know what kind of administrative loophole this is, or weird insurance fault. My mum wrote back and she was like, just send me £40. I don't want you to do anything. Just send me £40 so I will buy this part myself. And they were, for whatever reason, they were like, we can't do that, but we're going to send you £900 because that was the value of the car minus the brake light. Why? Bitch, I don't know. I don't know what kind of legality that is, but this car paid for itself this week. And my mum told me this story with the biggest smile I've ever seen on anyone's face. She was like, you're never going to believe what happened. And I actually didn't believe it. I was like, you know what? There's not many stories people tell me when they're like, you're never going to believe what happened. And I'm like, this one I really couldn't believe. I was like, what? This car? Anyways, we are up. She is up right now. Anyways, and my mum was like, I think since I did the administrative tasks, that 900 quid should be mine. I said, well, by all means, it's a bonus. So that was exciting. Anyway, I just thought that was a fun little piece of information. This car, by the way, 1997 or whatever the fuck, older than me, older than probably most of us. I retired this car for nearly 2 years in a field. I bought her a parking spot in someone's like rural field and left her there. And she had a little friend when I went to go pick her up. A little rat. And she was a pretty good house guest. She didn't fuck up that much, but she was here nonetheless, okay? And she did leave her mark. And I got the car towed to the garage because I will not let this one go. And I was like, look, because it wouldn't turn on anymore. And I was like, can you just tell me how much these repairs are going to cost? Like, if I wanted to get this car up and running again, like, how much it's going to cost me? How much you're going to send me back? I'm expecting thousands, and I was going to probably just, like, leave the car to rest in the field indefinitely. So tell me why they come back and they're like, we don't know how this is possible. All your car needs is a new battery. That's like £100, bro. So I said, by all means. They put the new battery in. She runs like a dream. Like a dream. This car will never die. She is fruitful. Okay, and she is prosperous. So anyway, just gonna gas my baby up for a second because you guys know I love this car. But anyway. And I just feel so happy when I'm in her. Like, I feel like myself again. Because I never feel like myself anymore and it makes me so sad. So anyway, I love this car. I just feel happy when I'm in it. And she has life left in her. Let me tell you that for free. But let me fill you in on my life. Okay? This week, I don't know what happened to me. In fact, not this week. Last night, something happened to me, okay? And there is no better way for me to describe what happened to me other than the term that I hate the most, and I think it's an annoying term, and I hate when people use it. But the words mental breakdown may be the only accurate adjectives to describe what befell me last night, okay? Picture this. I was in Paris. I went for this thing called Fête de la Musique, okay? And it's very fun. It's this, like, block party that happens. It happens across a few cities in France. I went to the one in Paris. And it's basically just a block party, lots of DJs, lots of music, lots of people, and it's really, really fun. And I was in Geneva for something, and which is very close to Paris. So me and my friends were like, we may as well go and enjoy Paris for a few days, go to Fête de la Musique. Okay, so we go. Now, my friends endowed me with the task of booking the flights and the accommodation. Why? I don't know. Like, at this point, I'm not the only one at fault. We all should have known that's not a task for Madeline, okay? Because it didn't get done. And so, day of, we land in Paris. It's 10 p.m. at night. I booked the flights at 4 a.m. the night before, stressed everyone out. We land in Paris. My friend turns to me. She goes, oh, where are we staying? Now, I know what you're thinking. Madeline, you seem like someone with a lot of anxiety. And at the least, you seem like someone whose brain is busy. Maybe not in the best ways, but busy nonetheless. Anxious, obsessive, some may say compulsive. You don't seem like the type to want to rock up in a foreign country without accommodation at 10 p.m. at night, no less. And to that, I challenge you, because I only fear the irrational, okay? And rocking up to Paris with nowhere to stay in the middle of the night is completely rational. You should fear that. Most do. I don't. What I do fear? E. coli. E. coli being in the air. Someone putting drugs in my food. Lice. Infestation of lice. Randomly spawning on my head. Those things I fear. Which, to be fair, they're all rational, okay? But a little bit less pressing than the fact that I actually did land in Paris with nowhere to stay at 10 p.m. at night. And I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. My friends, God bless them, also thought it was the funniest thing in the world. I don't know what kind of mood was with us that day, but everything was funny, and thank God, because otherwise I fear they may have beat my ass. And they would have been so right. I wouldn't have even fought back. I would just let them do it. You know what I mean? It's better you get this one out than let it build into a resentment, so take it away, you know? Anyway, but my friends are angels, and so they were like, you didn't book a place to stay? I'm sorry, I didn't. And so we found a last-minute hotel the first night, and then I booked $1 billion Airbnb for the rest of our stay, which was 5 nights. Why was it $1 billion? Because everywhere else was booked, and no one wanted to stay in the $1 billion Airbnb, but guess who had no other option? Me. Through every fault of my own. So we get to the $1 billion Airbnb, and obviously there's no air conditioning, because it's fucking Paris, and I'm used to this. Grew up in the UK, no air conditioning fucking anywhere. I'm swearing a lot today, sorry. No air conditioning anywhere. I'm thinking, this is fine. We get to the Airbnb, I notice there's no fans. And so I messaged the host, hey babe, wondering if you have a fan. And she's like, no, you won't need it. So anyway, it's now 35 degrees in Paris and there is no fan and no breeze. So you can't even open a window. It just lets more heat in. When I tell you I have not slept to date, I haven't slept in about 5 days. And when I did sleep, it was like 2 hours woken up by my body physically begging me to wake up before I genuinely die in my sleep. I woke up at 3 a.m., walked to the bathroom, drenched 3 towels in water, stripped naked, lay in my bed with 3 dripping wet towels over me, trying to cool down, and it still wasn't enough. It was the most absurd few nights of my life, filled with incomprehensible nightmares and an absurd level of dehydration. Like, I was fighting for my life in a mansion, mind you. Now, Fête de la Musique itself was great. We had so much fun. We went out. We went to a couple sets. We went to like a billion different streets. We met so many of our friends. It was incredible, blah, 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 blah. I get back that night and something possessed my soul. And I don't know if it was the heat. I don't know if it was the genuine heat exhaustion mixed with no sleep. But I cried myself to sleep in a way I haven't done since I was about 7 years old. And I had a fight with my mum. Like, the kind of sobbing that is unconsolable and irrational. It's just pure frustration. And I felt the weight of every grievance I have ever had in my entire life since birth come out of me. You know when you start crying about one thing and then your body's like, I'm going to take this opportunity to fuck you up because you've got the waterworks going? Yeah, that happened to me at 3 a.m. in a very hot room in Paris. And I was, weirdly enough, last week and this week thinking about the fact that I haven't cried in a long time. And I was like, like, it's kind of unlike me. Like, I'm a big crier, not in the way of like, I'm sad a lot of the time or like things provoke me to cry a lot of the time. It's just like, that's always been like a relatively healthy way for me to like get out emotion, is I'll have a bit of a cry and then I'll feel a lot better. I love having a cry. It's so healthy. And I love the way it feels like something is actually like leaving your body. And I don't know if it's because I've been kind of coasting along recently, not like facing anything super crazy and like also maybe suppressing a few things, but like life's been like stressful but not like awful. And so I've just not cried in like a long time, probably like a record time for me. And it dawned on me the other day, I was like, I really haven't cried in a long time. And I was like, that's kind of not good for me. I feel like I maybe could benefit. Well, I do feel benefited because I got just about everything out my system. And to help it, I'd had like, I don't really drink, and I especially don't like to drink in situations where like I need to be aware of my surroundings. So I had maybe like 3 beers the whole night. Like, I didn't get drunk, but when I tell you that helped get things going for me, guys, it was bad. It was like insane what happened to me. And then I slept with my cold towels. And I woke up the next morning and we were meant to stay another few days in Paris. And I said to my friends, and I've never done this in my life, I said, genuinely, peace out. This is nothing to do with me. Paris, nothing to do with me right now. I need to leave. And I think I realized at some point my mummy is a 2-hour train ride away. And once I'd had that thought process, like, it was over for me. I was laying on the sofa and I was like trying to convince myself, like, no, stay and have fun with your friends. And like, I don't want them to feel like uncomfortable. Like, it sucks when someone leaves a trip. But something in me had to go. I had to leave. And I booked the next train out of Paris. And I went to London. And the second I got on that train, I felt relief. And then all I could think about whilst going home was like, I just need to hug my mum. Like, so much. I think I still feel very like, I don't know. I know I'm at an age where like moving out is like not like everyone at my age, if the economy was better, would be moving out. And it's like, it's not premature that I have left home in any sense of the word. But I've talked about this a lot recently. Like, I think being so far from home so suddenly and so far from everything I've ever known and everyone I've ever known, and especially being in a place like LA where, as much as I do love it there, it can be very intimidating and just very intense. I'm learning a lot. I think I was just like, as much as I could acknowledge, okay, this is kind of stressful and scary, I wasn't like feeling it, because like, what's the point in wallowing if there's nothing I can fucking do anyway? And the second I was like, wait, my mum is low-key like right there, and I can now afford to like miss her as much as I actually always miss her, because I can fix that missing her. I ran to my mummy's arms. I was like, Mum, I'm so scared. Do you know how big the world is, Mum? Like, have you seen it? It's huge. And I went home, and my mum waited up for me, and I got in at like midnight, or like midnight, which is so far beyond the woman's bedtime. She waited up for me, and we spoke for like 2 hours before I went to bed. And then we woke up this morning, because this was all yesterday. And I woke up this morning. Oh, let me rephrase. I didn't wake up this morning. I haven't slept. I don't know what's happening to me. I didn't sleep almost at all in Paris. And if I did, it was awful sleep. I got home. The UK was much cooler than Paris. I thought, perfect. My bed, I've got my Dyson fan. I've got my mummy. I'm going to have a great night's sleep. I stared at the ceiling for 8 fucking hours. Yeah. And I thought, okay, maybe when midday hits, I'll take a nap. I don't know, babe. It's like 4 p.m. right now. I'm full of beans and bounce, and I'm worried for what's going to happen to me tonight. Like, I think I'm going to have to take a sedative. I think I'm genuinely, like, descending into something, and I don't want to know what it is. Because I don't know when the last time I actually slept was. No. I'm like, why do I feel crazy? Maybe that's why. I don't know. But anyway, I got home. Hold on. This morning, I got out of bed. Did not wake up, but I got out of bed. I ate breakfast with my mum in the garden. And then we went on a dog walk and we got coffee and we spoke. We've been talking all day. And then now I'm filming this podcast. So that's my day. And I'm feeling much, but I think I will benefit from rest tonight. But I'm feeling much better. And it's just good to be home. It's really good to be home. Like, yeah, I don't know. Life changes so much and so quickly, and it's hard to keep up and feel like you have a sense of self sometimes. And even though being at home doesn't innately give me a larger sense of self than I have anywhere else in the world, because that is something you can only supply internally and consistently, otherwise it's nothing, being here just makes me feel steady and stable and safe. And yeah, I'm not trying to complain. I love that I get to live even just part-time in LA. Like, one thing I don't understand is when people complain about LA and they're like, oh, you know, everyone here is fake and everyone tries to use you and yep. Is the word vehemently? I vehemently disagree with that sentiment. I'll tell you for why. If you are someone who lives in LA and you want to talk about how like, oh, everyone's fake and people use you and everything is transactional, there is a real possibility, and I hate to say it, but there is a big real possibility that you are just choosing to spend a lot of time around those people. And I fear it says more about you than it does them. Because there are bad people in every place in the world. And LA, yes, there is a section of LA that is made up of extreme wealth. And then there is a section of LA that is made up of extreme, like, ambition and sometimes, like, desperation for notability or fame or success that encapsulates those things. And yes, there are people there who will do things that are immoral because their ends justify their means and whatever. It exists, for sure. But I have to just point out, like, LA is enormous. And it is very rich in culture. And it is very diverse of a place. It is a diverse place. It is an interesting place. It's a place that has good food and good people and communities. Something we've seen recently more than ever. And I think it's interesting that that side of LA has been brought to the light because a lot of the time in LA, unfortunately, the most annoying, grating voices are the loudest ones. And more often than not, the people they're complaining about, like, the call is coming from inside the house, babe. It really is. Because what do you mean everyone in LA is fake? Have you left West Hollywood ever? Like, do you know where you live? Because it's a great place. Yeah, there are shit people. Same can be said for everywhere. It's just who you choose to be around. And I know sometimes it's unavoidable. I've definitely met people like that. Like, I have been around genuinely some of the weirdest, freakiest, scariest, most insufferable, and all of those in individual categories for individual people, and some of them combined, people I've ever met in my life in LA. Like, the things I've seen in LA have... I can't specify. I had one experience in LA. oh my God, it gives me a chill to even think about this person. Like the way they were acting and the way that they had this look in their eyes. And I was like, I think you are genuinely feeding on my soul right now. I was so scared. It exists for sure. And you have to know who to be around. And when you're around people that maybe aren't the best, you have to know how to compartmentalize them. Why are you around them? What's your purpose? And it's also just frustrating because I'm like, for me, as someone who grew up in a place that is kind of just fields, what attracted me to whether it be London or LA or any other like major cities, LA in specific, because it's obviously a hub for like creatives, right? What attracted me is like, it is great for networking. Networking is an enormous privilege. Networking is the thing that like society's elite people have aside from all else. And more often than not, regardless of wealth, if you have a network, you can thrive. You guys fucking see that? My God, that was terrifying. Okay, that was huge. Oh my God. Anyway, back to my point. Your network is your net worth is a saying for a reason, right? And it's like, I get where people are coming from to a point, but also, why did you move to LA? If all you're going to do is complain about people who are, and this is exempting the ones that are truly like the bane of everyone's existence, because they do exist and they are there for sure, and you will see them sometimes, inevitably, okay? No matter who you are or what circles you frequent or what place, you will find them. They're there and they're very loud. But I don't know. I just feel like, is it not such a privilege to be able to complain about, oh, everyone around me just like wants to connect and network, and if you want to say like use your transact with you, I understand, okay, there are contexts where yes, it is very frustrating and very transactional, and like specifically in the like strange influencer niche, there is people that will come up to you and like genuinely only give you a second look if they find out that you have X amount of followers. I'm pretty sure those people are AI and they're just like test bots, because I've met like a few of them and those bitches aren't real. I'll tell you that for fucking free. There's nothing behind their eyes. And I don't mean that in the way to call them stupid, because I hate when people like link influencer with like thirsty, stupid, and all things innately feminine, because it's like, mind yourself, okay? Because the amount of parties I've been to in LA, and I don't know why no one's talking about this one, the amount of parties I've been to in LA, actually, sorry, it's not the amount. I went to one, I never went back. Actually, no, it was two. Okay, listen. Male streamers need to be held accountable in LA. I have come across the odd occasional crazy, strange, blood-sucking influencer who really only is interested in treating you like a human being if they think that you're worth something to their career. Okay? But there's not that many of them. And if you're seeing that many of them, maybe stop going to these brand brunches, babe. I don't know what else to fucking tell you. Don't go to their environment. Like, stay home. It's free. However, male streamers, I don't understand why they don't get the same level of hate. They are genuinely at these parties, ring light on, cameraman present, like, and I get it, like, they stream nonstop, it's their job, but oh my God, if girls collectively did that, went to parties with a big ass fucking light that blinds, mind you, everyone in its 10-mile vicinity, and a cameraman and a live stream, like, it would be the tagline. Like, it would be like a thing. And I know that also male streamers who go to these parties and do these things, like, it is a thing, but it's not the first thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a thing in the community of the people who like consume the content and maybe critique it and maybe find it a bit cringe, but it's not the first thing someone says when they say like male streamer. Because when you think of like a male streamer, you think of the people that you love and admire, and 9 times out of 10 their hustle is actually sick and they're fucking funny, and I even like them. But that's the people at the top, and then you have the rest of the iceberg that is like people that not everyone knows about that are at these parties with their fucking cameras and their ring lights, and they are so annoying. And do you see my point? Is I'm like, okay, yeah, there are some terrible female influencers, like point blank fucking period, but like, why is that the assumption is like people hear influencer and they're like, ugh, like the assumption is almost, or like you hear LA influencer and the assumption is like, ooh, girl who like wants to use you and like girl who doesn't see worth outside of follower count and like almost like brain dead bimbo. Oh my God. Hello? Like, why is there certain like niches where no one stops to like clock the misogyny? Because people genuinely believe, because no one questions it, that that is how the majority of like that one group of people, that one like career choice, if you want to call it that, of people are. Because there are a few of them. Am I making any sense? Do you guys know what I'm saying? It's like, can we all stop and think for a second, actually? Maybe? You know what I mean? And it's also like, goddamn, like, think of an old man at a law firm and he goes to like a swish dinner party or whatever the fuck. He's not talking to the interns. He's talking to the other men with notability in the room. He's networking. And so are the bitches in LA. Leave him alone, okay? Like, what is the difference? There is no moral difference. There is no moral difference. You speak to the people who can get you ahead in life. You don't shit on the people who are beneath you. If anything, you uplift them. And at the very least, you treat them as human beings. Durr. And if someone's not doing that, fuck them. But I don't understand why people tend to assume that that is like the point average population of like female influencer. I don't know, bitch. Why did I go on this rant? I have genuinely no idea. But I think my point was, is like, why are we all so pissed off at LA as if we all didn't know what it was when we came here? Like, everyone wants to network. Everyone wants to... Okay, did you move here for like... There's nothing else that, like, respectfully, what else is there in LA? The beach? It's awful. Did you go there for like Venice? Like, I don't get it. And maybe I would be more inclined to also bitch about LA and the people there if I didn't have tea. But I do have tea, and so I feel in a way immune to a lot of the bullshit that I do see happen around me and the people that I'm like, you suck. Because at the end of every day I come home and I'm like, T, you're never gonna believe what I saw today. And we laugh about it together, and I have my friend. And so it's like, I have a safety net, you know? I have a community. And when I find someone that is good, perfect, you come in and we welcome you. But I'm not like actively needing to seek out community. And so maybe that's why I don't feel so frustrated with it. And again, I can empathize with the people who do. I just think it's a misconstrued place. So all this LA defending to say, I have to go back in 2 days and I don't want to. I don't want to. I want to be with my mom and I want to be in London for a minute. Like, I just want to be here. I just feel the need to be here. Not because I hate LA, not because I'm ungrateful for it. I'm also a little bit scared of the US right now. But regardless of that one. But I have to go back because of the damn cats. I only threw them enough kibble to last them 3 weeks. So I got to go back and, you know, pulse check them. Vibe check them, if you will. So that's annoying. One thing I've never been able to do in my life is, I think of it like bridging my life. And what I mean by that is, for example, when I went to university, I had my life at uni and I had my home life. And I never created a bridge between them. I was either at home or at uni. And not one thing was shared between those two lives. And so that led to every time I was at home, I completely missed out on everything that was happening at university. I missed out on my friends. I missed out on my work, my classes, my social life, my personal development that I may have been getting to by being there and being away from home and growing as a person. And then when I would be at university, I would have almost no contact with my mum and I wouldn't feel connected to home in any way. I would just like be completely estranged almost. And I could only do one or the other. The two lives shared nothing in common. And I couldn't find a way to create this healthy middle ground where I was stable at university and stable at home. I could only do one or the other. And I feel similarly now, being so far away. It's like the second I land in LA, I'm like consumed by that world. And I'm like, okay, my friends that are here and my social situations that are here and whatever person I'm fucking obsessed with that week is here, and this job that I want to get is here, and these ambitions are here, and my team is here, and everything, and my car, and like this life is so busy and full, and how could I ever leave it? I don't have any time to leave it. And then the second that I land home, I'm like, LA is so far away and those people are so irrelevant and I don't know what I was stressing about last week and it feels so fucking far and I've never been able to figure out how to solve this. And what's weird is one time, sorry, I keep fucking talking about this girl because I love her. But Tara, one time her and I were driving, and obviously she grew up in LA. And so we're driving and we drive past, I think it was like either her middle school or her high school we drove past. I think it may have been both. And she pointed them out to me. She's like, oh my God, there's where I'm at school. And I looked at it and I was like, have I said this before online? I can't remember. But I looked at it and I was like, it's crazy to me that for you it's normal. For me to be able to see that part of your life. Like I know where you went to school. I can see it. I can imagine you there. And this has been your world forever. This street, this town, everything. Like this is your life. And for me, the years I spent at home feel so deeply private. Like I can't fathom how it must be for people who had any level of like public perception on them as teenagers. Because for me, even at the time I was aware, these years are private. Like I am developing myself. I am wrong about so many things. I am not a fully formed person. I would never want to be seen. I knew that I was in like this cocoon. Like that's genuinely how I felt at the time. And the memories that I have of like secondary school and sixth form, like they're so, intimate's the wrong word, but like so personal. And so in my memory, they have like this grainy film layer over them as if they were a million years ago and in some kind of universe that I can no longer access because nothing is the same. Even if I stand in the same spot physically, nothing is the same. And like, I thought about what if someone from LA, this life that I live that I genuinely perceive to not be just a flight away on another continent, but genuinely through a portal to another universe. That is how I see LA versus home, and vice versa. They are portals to another universe. They are not on the same planet to me. They do not exist in the same realm. If I brought someone ever from LA, from that life, to my hometown and showed them my school or my house or my town or anything, that would, I think, blow my mind physically. Like something up here would go. I was like, imagine if Gwen, I think Gwen specifically because I know I was watching her during her Vine days when I was like this big and I would put on my little school uniform. And the rule that I had with myself when I was like 11 and I didn't want to go to school was I would wake up in the morning and I would let myself watch like 10 Vines because it like added up to like a minute. And I was like, I can spare a minute in bed. And I would like count 10 Vines or whatever. And then I would get up and start my day. And in those 10 Vines would absolutely be Quincedia on her fucking head, of course. And then I would trot myself off to school and live a life that I can barely remember now. And I was like thinking specifically of her because I've seen her in London before, but London doesn't feel like home to me. I didn't grow up in London. If she or anyone from LA ever came and saw my secondary school, my world would genuinely like sizzle, pop, and then like, you know, like after like wires cross, sometimes they're like, that would be my brain. Because I can't comprehend that they exist in the same realm, universe. They don't. To me, they don't. Even seeing people in like Paris and London and Milan during Fashion Month who are from LA, I'm like, whoa, you guys can make it here. You guys can come here too. As if it's genuinely another world. God forbid they ever saw anything that was actually personal to me. I don't know if I'm making sense, but like, I've never, ever been able to like mesh two pieces of my life together. And I do think that's why I feel homesick a lot of the time, because it's one or the other for me. And it's not that fun to live like that, TBH. So I really do need to figure out how to fix it. I just have never been able to. Like, I did 4 years at uni and I never fixed it. And I've been in LA for, 6 months now? Can't fix it. Maybe I need to invite Gwen to my secondary school. Gwen, can I come over? Hey, you guys want to know something crazy? My secondary school and my sixth form, same place. For the Americans, sixth form is sophomore, freshman, sophomore, senior. What's the other one? The last 2 years of high school, we call that sixth form. And It's kind of confusing. Don't worry about it. But that's what I mean when I say sixth form. And that was in the same, like, building for me. So my school hosts these, like, career day things for the current students. And they get they get older students who, like, graduated to come and sit at these, like, fuck-ass little desks and talk about whatever career it was that they pursued. Now, my school, God bless it, I don't know if times have changed, so let me not be offensive if they have, but at the time I was attending, I don't know if this is going to be rude, but there weren't that many high-status alumni. We'll call it that. And so my careers day was like someone's mom who, I don't know, I genuinely couldn't tell you, like, what anyone did. Like, there just wasn't, like... What I'm trying to say is my competition is not astronauts or lawyers, okay? And maybe this is wrong of me to say, but I'll tell you why I'm salty. So they do this careers day, and they invite the school alumni to come and, like, talk to the current students about their careers. Why have I not been invited back? Now, maybe you'll think, oh, maybe they just don't think, like, social media is, like, admirable or whatever. Wrong, because they invited a girl from my year. Love you, by the way. That was not a heart. Love you, by the way. No shade. No shade. But she came back she went to Careers Day with her blog that she runs. Cool blog, by the way. Yeah, she got invited to Careers Day to talk about her blog. At least I'm 90% sure that was why she was there. I could be misinformation. I'm pretty sure. And I like her blog. She had it, like, all through secondary school. I actually thought she was cool as fuck for that. Because I was always too scared. I stayed in my anonymous Wattpad zone. I knew where I belonged. But she had this blog, and it was sick. But they invited her back to Careers Day. So where the fuck was my invite? I basically have a blog. They just put a V at the start. I'm offended. I'm hurt. Genuinely. That school didn't like me, that's why. That's not nice. So someone let me back into that school so I can beat them up for it. Thank you. Thank you. No, my secondary school definitely would never let me speak to their students. Because I don't have nice things to say. Like, and they know that I don't. The thing is, I would have nice things to say. Let me back in. Please. Please, 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 please. Please, because I just want to tour the school. I just want to see it again. And I want to bring Quen. So, I genuinely do really want to see my school again. I miss it, weirdly. I want to see if my name is still on the ceiling. I want to see... I didn't leave any other mark, actually. I was barely there, but... No, but genuinely, let me back in. What is that about? Right? I haven't said anything that bad about them online. I hated my English teacher, but she left. And I'll keep my mouth shut about the others. I promise. Just let me back in. One day. One day. One speech. That's all I ask. And I'll bring my own megaphone. No, but actually, I want them to let me back in to do a careers day. And I want that careers day to fall on a Tuesday. Because Tuesday's the day they serve sausages in the cafeteria. Cafeteria, Jesus fucking Christ. Canteen. Americans, they, like, get in here. In the canteen on Tuesdays, they serve sausages. And I don't know what fuck shit is in those sausages. Probably bones, brains, dicks, little boys, little girls, hair, teeth, eyeball, everything. Everything like beef. But oh my god, they are delicious. Oh, they were so good. And they would put them in this, like, baguette bread that was definitely nothing close to real bread. And that's what made it so delicious. Oh my god. Oh, and they would do this pasta, and it was genuinely a health risk. I don't know what, like, where was Jamie Oliver during all of this? Because they would serve this pasta, and I would fuck this shit up daily, and it was genuinely penne pasta soaked in mayonnaise, nothing else. And on top, a thick layer of cheddar cheese. And the mayonnaise was like, it was like very, this is so disgusting. It was very thick mayonnaise. And I know what you're thinking, oh, Madeline, was it cheese sauce? No, it was mayonnaise. And it said it on the box. I knew what it was when I was doing it. No other ingredients. That, and I hate to say it, I haven't tasted anything that has sparked joy like that since. I haven't. It was delicious. The thickness of the mayonnaise, the consistency of the cheese with the pasta with the mayonnaise, and it was always so cold, and they would cram it into these tiny plastic boxes, which I think just somehow added to the flavor. Oh, it was magical. and I would wash that down with a Rice Krispie treat. That actually should have been illegal. And if they're still serving that in this modern day and age, like, that shit is so disgusting. Like, that is disgusting to feed to children. Fucking kids. Oh my God, it was delicious. I miss it. I miss school lunches, point blank period. They were so nice. I'm just talking shit at this point. I'm just trying to fill up enough time on this SD card so that we can take out the boring and add in snippets of fun. You know what I mean? Because I've been yapping. I'm also having fun. Trying to fill the word count on my essay again. Okay. Had to cut the cameras because someone infiltrated my special parking spot to walk their dog. Can you imagine? By the way, I'm back in my little podcast studios, which is random empty spots I find on the forest to park in. What is it about when the word park is near another word that I mix the P and the other letter up? Parkark. Forest. It's tricky. It gets me every time. Why do I feel like a frazzled British woman in my fleece? Well, I'm satisfied with this week's episode. You know what? Sometimes it's okay to say nothing of substance. The reason being, I think I said this before, but I forgot, is I've been traveling this last month. And so I haven't been reading my books. I've taken a book hiatus, mostly because I forgot them all at home. So that's good. And I also haven't really had time, what with the not sleeping and all. So maybe some more philosophical ideas next week or something like that, if we're all very lucky. But yeah, why is my hair tucked in? Like, okay, let's bring them forward so we don't look horrible. I'm very bothered by my appearance right now. Finding it bothersome. I wonder what phase of my menstrual cycle I'm in. I also, by the way, guys, sorry, no one needs to know this. My menstrual cycle is so irregular that I never know where I am in it. Wait, where is my lip gloss before I commit a crime? It's in my back pocket. No, hold on. Oh, it's windy. It got really cold all of a sudden. This is why I love England. You never know. Anyway, I'm like annoying myself. I need to go to bed, I fear. What is the time? 4 p.m. I can't believe I'm still awake. I'm actually amazed. But anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. I'm going to finish this podcast episode right here, right now. And guess what? I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Oh yeah, we're not done. And I can't wait. I hope you guys have a very good week, whatever you're doing and wherever you are. Good luck. Prosper. Be scary. I feel like I had another point and it's on the tip of my tongue. I wonder what it was. No, it's not going to come to me. I'm having spag bowl for dinner. Pretty cool. My mum let me request a dinner because I'm home and it's a special treat. I would never normally request spag bowl. Don't know what got into me. Yeah, no, I really don't have anything else to say. Well, I love you guys. Like I said, same time, same place next week. Have a good week. Have a good day. Have a good night. Wherever you are. I love you. I really love you. And I'm going to give you a kiss now. Okay. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Aw, why does it feel so abrupt? How do I normally sign these off? The fuck? Give you a kiss. Mwah. Bye. Love you. Next time. Same week. Different place. No, same place. Okay, look. Bye.